Darba. In shiur, you don't drink anything with gas.
Really?
You're burping the shiur, you know. My father-in-law taught me he's singing a lot. He said before you do a show, you don't drink soda. Because, don't name. So in shiur it's the same problem, you know. Okay, so Parshat Vayeira. I heard all of the noise around, everybody talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, Bnei Israel. So the key question obviously over here, ולא שמעו אל משה מקוצר רוח ומעבודה קשה. Later on, Moshe Rabbeinu says, אין בני ישראל לא שמעו אליי, ואיך ישמעני פרעה ואני ארד שפתיים. בני ישראל לא שמעו למה? מקוצר רוח ומעבודה קשה. What is Moshe Rabbeinu saying? אין בני ישראל, איפה שיורי? או בני ישראל לא ישמעו אליי, איפה רב אריה לייב? Okay, therefore Shiori. What? You didn't ask this question?
No,
what Moshe Rabbeinu is saying? En bnei Yisrael lo shamu elai ve'ech yishmeini paro v'ani aral sefatayim. Bnei Yisrael lo shamu lama? Because the word mikotzer ruach hu en alecha. Hu me'avoda kasha. Avdu chamim. If so, what's the complaint of Moshe Rabbeinu? Now, when you read this parasha really begins on earlier parasha, and we have to read. But as we're starting in this week parasha, וידבר אלוקים אל משה ויאמר אליו אני השם. He take his shotgun like תדדדם אלוקים, מידת הדין, קשה. משה רבנו complained, משה רבנו go through a difficult time, and Hashem, giving it to him. So it says, דיבר איתו משפט על שהקשה לדבר ולומר למה הראות על העם הזה. Meaning Hashem is taking care of Moshe because he said, why did you do that bad to this nation? Last week parasha, we'll see in a second, Hashem already addressed it and he given the punishment already. אתה תראה כי ביד חזקה, שלכם ביד חזקה. You're going to see only the Geula, but you're not going to see them coming to Eretz Israel. Hashem already punished Moshe Rabbeinu before. Now Hashem again attacking him again on what he said? Doesn't make sense. When you go weiter, Hashem says, you start beginning all of the story. The fathers, Avuz Bekel Shatai, Lo Niglati Lem, You Nigleti. He goes all of the stories, Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Akimot Beriti Itam. He goes into a story which has nothing to do. All this story was already said before in the previous parasha. The story, Hotzetu Etchem, Galti Etchem, Zolim Tov Shkotim Gdolim, was said already in Parashat Shmot. Hashem repeating to Moshe Rabbeinu the same message again doesn't seem to be bechlal needed. Later on, Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, by the way, ויצווהם אל בני ישראל ואל פרעה מלך מצרים. דברו לפרעה בצורה respectful way. They didn't talk to Paro up to this point? They're already talking to Paro. What's going on? So באמת, the issues over here begins way earlier. If everybody have a Chumash, פרק ג' פסוק י"א.
פרק ג'?
פסוק י"א.
שמות?
כן, שמות, כן.
Page 156.
ויאמר, after Hashem asked Moshe Rabbeinu to go to בני ישראל, ויאמר משה לאלוקים, מי אנוכי כי אלך אל פרעה וכי יוציא את בני ישראל ממצרים. So Moshe said, I'm not the right guy to talk to פרעה, cannot get him out of מצרים. ויאמר השם כי יהיה עמך, וזה לך עוד כי אנוכי שלחתיך, בהוציאך את העם ממצרים, תעבדו אלוקים על העם הזה. אז רש"י מסביר, Moshe said, I cannot talk to kings, I have no experience, and what זכות בני ישראל has, they should get him out of מצרים. Hashem says, no, kings don't worry, I'm your mouth, and זכות, they do have a זכות. What's their זכות? Because later on, when we're going to come here, they're going to serve in Har Sinai, they're going to receive the Torah over here. I mean, Moshe Rabbeinu saying, what is zchut of Bnei Israel to get Geula? Hashem already said that, Ra'o Ra'iti, the previous Pesukim said, I saw what they're going through, I promised the fathers, and that's why they deserve the Geula. Hashem answered to him, why they deserve the Geula? Biglal, eventually they will be in Har Sinai receiving the Torah. That's not the reason of the Geula. We see later on, Hashem Evtiach, Hashem promised it to our fathers. That Pasuk Yud-Aleph. If you jump,
the zchut you get after something you did.
The
zchut is for something you did.
Yeah. The future zchut doesn't make sense. I'm with the future. Go to next pasuk. Pasuk Yud Gimel. Parag Gimel. Yeah, Pasuk Yud Gimel. ויאמר משה לאלוקים, he has another problem, that's the second problem of משה רבנו. ויאמר משה לאלוקים, he seems to be very nudge. הנה אנוכי בא אל בני ישראל, ואמרתי להם, אלוקי אבותיכם שלחני עליכם, ואמרו לי, מה שמו, מה אמר עליהם? Suddenly he has a problem, he needs the name of God. Okay? What's the name of God? אהיה? So, באמת, the pasuk, following pasuk says, ויאמר אלוקים אל משה, אהיה אשר, פרק ג' פסוק י"ד, אהיה אשר אהיה. השם told משה, tell בני ישראל, אהיה אשר אהיה. ויאמר, כן, ויאמר כה תאמר לבני ישראל, אהיה שלחני עליכם. The beginning Hashem said, אהיה אשר אהיה, and then later on he says only, אהיה. Rashi says that Hashem, Gemara also, the Gemara said that it says that Hashem told Bnei Israel, whoever was with them on the previous tzara, I'm going to be with them in the next tzara. So tell them not to worry. Say Moshe Rabbeinu, Hashem, they have now this tzara. Why should I mention to them the previous tzara? So what Hashem said? אמר לו השם, יפה אמרת, you're right. כה תאמר בני ישראל, אהיה שלחני עליכם. So, משה בדע, I was wrong, נכון, good point. Okay, now, ויאמר השם, אהיה שלחני עליכם. I mean, Hashem had a mistake before.
What did you say, יפה אמרת?
Rashi says that he's telling him, יפה אמרת. So, Hashem had it wrong, the message. Had Moshe corrected the message to בני ישראל, מה קורה פה? Weiter. בהשם stand again, כה תאמר בני ישראל, זה שמי לעולם, זה בני ישראל. The pasuk again giving certainly a different message. go to בני ישראל, להעלנו אתכם אלי מצרים, פקוד פקדתי אתכם וכולי. פרק ד' פסוק א'. ויען משה ויאמר, ואין לא יאמינו לי ולא ישמעו בקולי, כי אמרו לא נראה לך השם. Hello, you gave him a message, יש לכני עליכם, you give a name of Hashem. Suddenly Moshe said, לא יאמינו לי ולא ישמעו בקולי. Now, the Hashem gave him two things to do. One thing is to put his hand inside, and it came out מצורעת. למה? He said that you talk לשון הרע about בני ישראל. Why they shouldn't believe you? They wouldn't believe you. So that seems that בני ישראל, they don't need the simanim. Later on, when, I'm not going to turn the page yet, when Paro, I'm going to just read it, he says, וידבר אהרון כל דברים האלה אשר דבר השם, ויעשה אותות לעיני העם. All of the simanim that Hashem gave him, he had to do in front of the nation. So that means that Bnei Israel, they do need the simanim. If they do need the simanim, why Hashem telling him, talking לשון הרע? No, but he's right. You need to have the, if they need the simanim, and he says, Hashem, give me siman, so it's not לשון הרע. It's not something negative. He has a technical issue. They're not going to listen. They need to know. Now, פסוק י', פרק ד' פסוק י', ויאמר משה אל השם, בי אדוני, לא איש דברים אנוכי, גם אתמול, גם משלשום, גם מאז דברך אל עבדיך, כי כבד פה וכבד לשון אנוכי. I'm saying, you know what, I don't speak good, you know, you're taking the wrong guy. Just get, I can't talk to בני ישראל. מה קרה לו עכשיו? suddenly ייתן להשם, I don't speak nicely? Okay, לא יש דברים אנוכי, השם give you a message, give him the message.
Why does he say it so many times?
Yeah, it's נודניק. יפה, כבד פה וכבד לשון, כן. So השם telling him, ויאמר השם אליו, מי שם פה לאדם, או מי יעשו מילם, או חירש, או פיקח, או עיוור, אני אחי השם. השם telling him, don't worry, your mouth is mine, I'm the one who's make sure who's going to speak, you have no worries. So at this point, פסוק י"א, at this point, משה רבנו should say yes, נכון? משה רבנו has no way to get out of it. ויאמר, ואתה, פסוק י"ב י"ג, ואתה לך, ואנוכי אהיה עם פיך, ואורותיך אשר תדבר, I'm going to be with you, I'm going to tell you what to talk. ויאמר, בי אדוני, שלח נא ביד תשלח, send it by somebody else. Why do you need me to do it? Give it to my brother. מה קורה לו? ויחרף השם במשה. What's wrong with you? כן. עכשיו, מה שהשם מתעצבן עליו suddenly, I would have get angry way earlier. ידעתי כי דבר הוא, וגם יוצא לקראתך, ושמעתך בסלע לבו, וכולי. Okay, suddenly Hashem is angry, but he said, okay, Aaron will assist you.
Also, the Gemara in Menachos says about the story of Moshe and Kiva. Or Moshe says, יש לך מנהג כזה גדול.
כן, כי זה משהו אחר, יפה, זה לגבי נתינת התורה. Okay, I want to jump to the end of the parasha. last שמות, פרק ה' פסוק כ"ב. כן. וישוב משה אל אדוני ויאמר, אדוני, למה הרעות על העם הזה? למה זה שלחתני? So, you can't even understand matters, מה הרעות על העם הזה? You did bad to this nation. רש"י says, ואם תאמר, מה אכפת לך? אם תאמר, משה, telling השם, ואם תאמר, מה אכפת לך? What do you care? קובל אני על זה שלחני, what did you send me? מה זה ואם תאמר, מה אכפת לך? משה רבנו is the one who caused it, ואם תאמר, אולי מה אכפת לי? מה זה מה אכפת לי? I caused it! You can't even read it. השם giving a punishment, אתה תראה, הערת על מידותיי, and you're going to see that, you're not going to see going to ארץ ישראל. And then we're switching to this week פרשה, ויאמר אלוקים אל משה, now you start giving him, דבר איתו קשות.
Where's that what you just said?
That
he's not going to go to Israel?
the end of the שמות, פרשת שמות. כן, ויאמר השם אל משה, אתה תראה אשר יעשה לפרעה. דווקא מה שיעשה לפרעה, תראה רש"י says, but going to ארץ ישראל, you're not going to see. So all this parasha needs...
So he told him before he even hit the Sela.
No, way before, yeah. So it's a רמזים, it's a sign. Okay, let's go back, רבו ישי, from beginning where we have פרק ג' פסוק י"א.
The next Parsha?
כן. לא, פרק ג' פסוק, לא, פרשת שמות, כן. השם...
the book didn't have to absorb what Moshe had to absorb.
Good question, meaning what's the comparison בכלל to אבות? Two different, yeah.
All the sacrifices of Avraham and Vayeira, that was something personal, but Moshe has to absorb the pain of 1 million people suffering and the suffering that
I agree.
hasn't been in the history.
I agree with you. There is no comparison, and I think we can address it also. So, let's start from the beginning. Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu that you got to get Bnei Israel out of Mitzrayim. פרק ג' פסוק י"א. Why did Hashem pick Moshe to be the person who gets Bnei Israel out of Mitzrayim? What's the history of Moshe? Famous midrash that Moshe Rabbeinu had a shepsale. You know what shepsale? Sheep. It says shepsale. He had a shepsale, small sheep that he couldn't reach to the water. Moshe Rabbeinu picked him up and he made sure that the sheep can reach the water. Hashem recognized in Moshe Rabbeinu as signs of leadership. Leadership is not what's good for you, it's what's good for the nation, for others. Hashem is telling Moshe Rabbeinu, I do see with you those signs of leadership, and therefore I decide to appoint you to get Bnei Israel out of Egypt. Moshe understands that my job as a leader is what? Number one, I need to talk to Paro and to get him out of Egypt, and to convince him and to do whatever I need to do for him to send Bnei Israel out of Mitzrayim. Second thing, I need to, as a leader to Bnei Israel, I need to make sure that Bnei Israel will be ready to leave Egypt. In order, if I don't know that Bnei Israel will be ready emotionally, meaning mitzvot and Torah, to leave Egypt, there is no way for me to do the job. Moshe understands his job as a leader. He got to talk to Paro. A leader needs to orchestrate the old plan as a leader, how Bnei Israel will get out of Mitzrayim. Says Moshe to Hashem Rabbe to פרק ג' פסוק י"א, ואמר משה אל האלוהים, מי אנוכי כי אלך אל פרעה, וכי יוציא את בני ישראל ממצרים. Who did he say that to? אל האלוקים. מה זה אלוקים? מידת הדין. So let's leave it in the memory. So מידת הדין means, מידת הדין is the midah of judgment, of din, נכון? So he gets the judgment that Hashem has in the world going to be bequeathed to Moshe, and Moshe Rabbeinu is the leader. Moshe Rabbeinu says, no, you have a problem. Number one, I don't know how to talk to kings. So being the representative of Bnei Israel talking to Paro, I cannot. Number two, I cannot orchestrate Bnei Israel to leave Mitzrayim because they don't have the zchut for it. If I'm the one who's supposed to orchestrate that, how can I get them to leave Mitzrayim? They have no zchut. And no zchut to leave Egypt.
Why necessarily do you need a zchut to leave?
I need to make sure, because they are all of the deep in the Tumah. So to get them out of Egypt, I need the zchut. Says Hashem to Moshe, no. Ki ehyeh imach. Now, where one Hashem's telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you have a mistake. You are not talking. Ki yeh imach, Rashi says, I'm talking for you. Meaning,
Like through you.
כי לא משלך, כי היא משלי, meaning you're not supposed to orchestrate that. מה זה משלי? From mine. Hashem said, מהדברים שלי, from, I'm the one orchestrating and you just executing it. The planning is by Hashem. Right? לא יהיה, לא. כי אהיה עמך, I'll be with you. Be with you meaning, the planning is me, you just executing it. And Bnei Israel, they have this portion. So the portion of Ehyeh Imach, you have no issue. But the portion of leading Bnei Israel to get out of Egypt, you have no problem. Why? Because they do have a schut. I have a personal interest for them to get to go to receive the Torah in Har Sinai, and therefore I'll make sure that to help you to execute the plan to get Bnei Israel emotionally out of Mitzrayim. So Moshe at this point understand that we release the portion of the leadership. They're talking to Paro. You're not talking to Paro. The second thing is that the schut Bnei Israel leave Mitzrayim is not on the burden of Moshe. It is because of the schut they can get out of Egypt. So at this point Moshe is not a leader. Who is Moshe? He's not acting as a leader. Right? He's a puppet. Nachon? If you come to Bnei Israel as a leader, how would Bnei Israel listen to you? People listen to a leader. A leader means you're making acts. All of the leaders in history, they became leader by acting properly as a leader. You take responsibility, you do for the nation, you can be a leader. At this point, Moshe says, okay, I'm not a leader, nachon? So who am I? I'm just giving a message of Hashem to Bnei Israel. Says the next pasuk, pasuk Yud Gimel, Vayemer Moshe el Elohim, הנה אנוכי בא אל בני ישראל, ואמרתי להם אלוהי אבותיכם שלחני עליכם, ואמרו לי מה שמו, מה אומר עליהם? Now that I'm not a leader, I'm just giving a message, okay, so who sent you? What is his name? Hashem says, okay, I'll tell you my name. ויאמר השם אל משה, אהיה אשר אהיה. Hashem tell Moshe, I was with them on the previous tzarot, I'll be with them in the future tzarot. I am the one who's going to take care of Bnei Israel. So Moshe says to Hashem, one second. So I am telling Bnei Israel now that I was with them Hashem was with them in the previous tzarot, and is going to be with them in the future tzarot. Moshe at this point understands that his job, it's not just a technical messenger. The name that he received over here is not a technical level. I am on giving the words over. I can be a leader, but just get Bnei Israel out of the tzarot that they are staying at this point. Meaning I can lead Bnei Israel, but I don't need to orchestrate the plan. So I'm not just a technical messenger. So therefore Moshe is telling Hashem, if I am just carrying your word, I have no problem to say Yeh Asher Ehyeh. But at this point Moshe understood, I am leading Bnei Israel and just not orchestrating the plan. If so, I cannot tell them you had previous tzarot. I cannot start off my relationship with Bnei Israel, you had previous tzarot, you're going to be okay with your future tzarot. I need to start them, I cannot mention anything about the previous tzarot. So Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you're right. Just say, deal with the current tzarot, and Hashem changed the whole message to Bnei Israel. When Moshe was taking upon himself to give the message to Bnei Israel as a messenger to convince them, to give them a message that they got to leave Egypt, you're not supposed to orchestrate by giving a message. I'm not reading a letter, I'm giving a message. So the message changed. Suddenly Hashem telling Bnei Israel, פקוד פקדתי אתכם, ושאלה אישה, a lady will borrow from her friend, כלי כסף וכלי זהב ושמלות. He's talking of a message of גאולה. Message, I cannot be messenger of tzarot. I can be a messenger for גאולה, I can do it. I say, no problem, here, I'm giving you a full message of גאולה. Next page. פרק ד' פסוק א', ויען משה ויאמר, ואין לא יאמינו לי ולא ישמעו בקולי, כי יאמרו לא יירא אליך השם. Moshe says, okay, Hashem, I'm convincing now Bnei Israel to the גאולה. יפה? Bnei Israel are not going to listen to me, ולא ישמעו בקולי. Now it's me personal doing him. Up to now I thought I'm just what you said, giving it over. Now I need to talk, I need to give the voice. We said by Chava, כי שמעת בקול אשתך. The Gemara says, קול באישה ערווה. קול is the emotional parts of the relationship. ואין לא יאמינו in the message ולא ישמעו בקולי. They not connect to my message. Therefore, what do we need to do? Hashem, I need signs. And Hashem giving him a sign. And eventually, Bnei Israel needed the sign in order for them to believe Moshe Rabbeinu. So where Moshe was wrong over here?
He didn't trust himself to give over the message.
Excellent.
The signs.
Moshe, the problem is, what's the problem is? Moshe, he what?
You didn't know what his tafkid was.
No, he had no confidence.
No, he had no confidence giving over the message. What's Lashon Hara
He
means?
wasn't acting as a leader.
What's considered as Lashon Hara? Lashon Hara means that I see a problem on a guy and I classify it as he's a problem. באמת, when you see a problem of the guy, it's not he's a problem, the way you interpret the person.
Well, he spoke about himself.
That's why Moshe is talking Lashon Hara about Am Yisrael, but it's Lashon Hara. Ki is the issue, it's not them. Therefore Hashem says, you get Tarat. Don't talk to Bnei Israel like that. And eventually Bnei Israel couldn't understand his message because of who? Because of Moshe. Now, after all of the messages, Vayomer Moshe el Hashem, Pasuk Yud.
Because Moshe spoke in Lashon Hara. Because Moshe spoke Lashon Hara, that's why they couldn't understand.
Exactly. So Hashem telling him, the problem is you, it's not them. You're supposed to give the
Where is
message.
that from the pasuk?
Because Vayan lo ya'aminu li velo yishmeu bekoli. I cannot give the message. Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you're getting Lashon Hara, you're taking Lashon Hara, they are not the problem. The problem is you, Moshe. Pasuk Yud, Vayomer Moshe el Hashem, bi Adoni, lo ish dvarim anochi. Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you the problem, right? Meaning, you're supposed to convince Bnei Israel and to give them over the message. If I'm supposed to convince Bnei Israel, he says, I can't, lo ish dvarim anochi. I don't know how to, I don't know how to convince. Now I understand it's my problem, I don't know how to do it. What did Hashem do at this point? Hashem agreed with Moshe. Meaning, he didn't say agree, but he took Moshe's point as okay, if you think you cannot do it, ויאמר השם אליו, י"א, מי שם פה לאדם, או מי ישום אילם, או חירש, או פיקח, או לא עיוור, הלא אנוכי השם. Hashem telling Moshe Rabbeinu, you are not convincing anymore, it's over. You are giving a message. What I said, because מי שם פה לאדם, who put the mouth by a man? אני השם, רש"י says, מי שם פה לאדם, לא אנוכי השם, לא, זה לא רש"י, that I am putting, your mouth is my mouth. Meaning, when you're talking, I'm talking.
Just a kli.
Your job is just a kli, not even a kli. At this point, Moshe transferred to just giving the message of the Geulah, repeating what Hashem told them to give.
It's like a shofar.
So who's Moshe at this point? Nothing, נכון? He's just repeating exactly the words what Hashem told them. What's the next pasuk says?
ואתה?
כן, כן, פסוק י"ג.
Oh. ויאמר בי אדוני
ואמר בי אדוני, שלח נא, בי אדוני ביד תשלח. He said, Hashem, if I am just repeating your word,
שזה לבד.
anybody else can do it. Who am I to be a factor over here? I am a nobody. Hashem says, okay, no problem. You're going to go, and Aaron going to talk for you. You're going to be there. It's fine.
Why don't you just move on and try to get someone else?
Look. There is a reason for it. It's a therapy. What Hashem. So okay. So at this point, Moshe Rabbeinu goes to Bnei Israel,
He's building him up.
and he is. What's the factor of Bnei Israel? He just is. He's not a player over here. He's not orchestrating. He's just giving over the messages. After you give the message to Bnei Israel, he's talking to Paro. At the end of the parasha. Vayashov, and they're getting in trouble, they're losing a lot. The end of the parasha, pasuk Chavbet, Vayomer Moshe el Adonai Vayomar, Adonai, lama הראות על העם הזה? למה זה שלחתני? Moshe is complaining, what did you do bad? What did you do bad to this nation? What did you send me? Rashi says, ואם תאמר מה אכפת לך? What do you care?
Who's saying the Imtumah Machpat?
Rashi.
Moshe.
Moshe, so
Yeah,
saying?
Moshe, if Moshe אומר מה אכפת לך, If you're going to tell me now, מה אכפת לך? אמר רש"י אומר, למה זה? שלחתני, why did you send me? Now it's beautiful. Moshe is telling Hashem, I am nobody over here, right? I'm just giving over what you told me to give over. So everything that happened over here, nothing to do with me. I'm not the one who's leading the situation. Who is the one who orchestrating everything? You, Hashem. אני רק technical, right? ואם תאמר, מה אכפת לך? What do you care? It's not you! Moshe said, ואם תאמר, מה אכפת לך? What do I care? Anyway, it's not me. You know what I care? למה זה? שלחתני. Why I am the one who's causing bad to Bnei Israel. Moshe, you think you're causing it to Bnei Israel? You are the one who's causing Bnei Israel the bad. You're not causing Bnei Israel the bad.
How do you understand?
What?
Why would it be causing Bnei Israel bad?
No, so he's not the cause, I'm saying. You think he's not causing Bnei Israel, but you think you're the one. למה זה שלחתני? קובל על זה של שחתן, meaning you the shaliach of Bnei Israel, נכון? So you understand, you don't want to be shaliach for Bnei Israel for anything bad, anything good. נכון? You want to do shaliach only for good, not for bad. Huh?
Not here.
Here is not good, it's for bad.
Why?
He sent them when he got back.
When he got and he couldn't work.
No, he's trying to get them out.
No, but because Paro, they enslaved them much more. At this point, it's bad.
Double their work.
More slavery, they're all complaining about Moshe Rabbeinu. Why did you do that to us? So it's unbelievable. What was the punishment of Moshe? Huh? No, at this point, the punishment of Moshe, אתה תראה, you're going to go to Mitzrayim, but you're not going to go to Eretz Israel. Why did Moshe didn't go to Eretz Israel?
Rock.
Because of the rock, נכון? When Moshe Rabbeinu was hitting the rock instead of talking to the rock, what?
The codes that you told us.
Right. So if he was hitting the rock instead of talking to the rock, what was wrong in Moshe Rabbeinu? Why Bnei Israel couldn't go to Eretz Israel? Because
They weren't ready.
they weren't ready, right? Bnei Israel, I can't go, I'm not on the level going to Eretz Israel. Which is that, when Moshe did that, is that something good for Bnei Israel or something bad for Bnei Israel?
They're not ready for
Something bad. Nachon, what Moshe did,
meaning
for Bnei Israel it's bad. If Moshe is part of the bad things that happened to Bnei Israel, what should be the din of Moshe Rabbeinu when hitting the rock?
you should have been done.
You're part of the bad. So you should go to Eretz Israel.
His mission's not to
Moshe
do that.
Rabbeinu, does he want to be part of the bad?
No.
No, only part of the good. So the part of the good is the Geula from Egypt, nachon? From Mitzrayim.
Sure.
Says, no problem. You want to be part of dafka the good, not the bad. אתה תראה. The good part you're going to get, but the bad part, going to Eretz Israel, being with them at the bad moments you don't want to be, you're not going to be
He
there.
never needed to be part of the good because he was never enslaved.
What?
He was never enslaved.
No, the good meaning of Bnei Israel suffering, the difficulties of Bnei Israel. Is he part of it or not? Here, it's part of that's a message that's bad for Bnei Israel. So this bad, he doesn't want to be part of it. He doesn't want to be a part of the, he don't want to be a part of the bad. So part of the bad of Bnei Israel by Mei Meriva, talking to the rock, you're wearing your Bnei Israel, you don't want to be part of it, you're not going to be with that bad part. Therefore, you're not going to go to Eretz Israel. He's not with
Part of that bad, that's where he should go in. Why?
no, because what really happened over there, that's another pshat, but it's similar. It's not exactly that. What happened over there? Bnei Israel did a sin over there, right? Because of Bnei Israel, right? So Bnei Israel can go to Eretz Israel, but they are not ready for the Geula b'chlal. So it's bad. It's not the right time for Bnei Israel to go. If you're with them with good and bad, even though it's bad for Bnei Israel at this point, you're still going to join them whatever status they are. But when you don't want to be with the bad situation with them, you want to steal only the good. So the good part you're here, the bad part they're going to go themselves to Eretz Israel.
Why is it bad for them not
No, because going with them to Eretz Israel on the original plan, that's what's good for Bnei Israel. Because it's supposed to be Mashiach right away. Going with them when it's bad, when not right away, that's the bad punishment of Bnei Israel. You don't want to be with the bad, so that bad part you're not going to be with him. This week Parsha we're starting something else לגמרי. וידבר אלוקים אל משה ויאמר אליו אני השם. Where was the word Elokim appeared? The first pasuk. When Hashem sent Moshe Rabbeinu on the first place, Hashem sent them, gave him all of the power to talk orchestrate, to do everything. Who didn't want to do it? Moshe. What does Moshe want it to be? No, I'm just giving over the messages. Technical. Hashem took Moshe and Hashem showed Moshe. That's your question, Rabbi Avraham. It doesn't. The way you want it to be, it doesn't work. You try just to be a puppet. That's midat harachamim. Midat adin is I'm giving you the job that you're supposed to do, that you have to do. When you care about your child and you have rachamim on him, you're not going to reach what he needs to reach. When you care, you're giving midat adin, you're giving him what he's supposed to do. At this point, we go back from the beginning of the message. Vayidaber Elokim el Moshe, vayomer elav ani Hashem. All of the relationship between Hashem and the Avot.
When he did it to begin with.
What? That's how he started. In Perek Yud Aleph, Vayidaber, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't want to take it.
So when he started giving him choices.
No, he wants to show Moshe that it doesn't work. After Moshe did,
I'll let
you want to be a puppet, look what do you feel. If you're not part of the game, you feel bad.
Like they say, the worst thing to do is to give him choices, because then he feels like everything's open as opposed to telling him what to do. Then
No, but here he gave him, he didn't give him choices really.
You say no as a father, not as a son.
By the way, even if your child, you always need to give him choices, but you need to limit the choices.
Yes, this or that.
Yefe. Not 3. I don't want to eat. You want bread?
I mean, don't say what do you want. That's what I'm saying. Don't say.
I know what do you want. Lo yodea. Yeah, he doesn't know why. Bread or bread?
It's fascinating.
Like we said, butter on the bread or bread on the butter. What do you want? Butter on the water. Huh?
I say
אני לא תיקח את זה. אז כן, וייטר, לא תיקח את זה. וייטר, רבו ישי. So that's the okay. Now, at this week parasha, וידבר אלוקים אל משה ויאמר אליו אני השם. Hashem is now appointing Moshe Rabbeinu to be the leader of Bnei Israel. Moshe Rabbeinu, you have no choice. You got to be the orchestrate. I got to orchestrate all of the Geulah of Bnei Israel. It's on your job. When you're giving a guy to be a full leader, what do you need to give him? If I give you a job, nachon, I give you a place to manage. What do I need to give you? All of the background, the information about that. This parasha, Hashem gives Moshe background. What is your job? וידבר וירא על אברהם אל יצחק ואל יעקב בקל שדי ושמי השם לא נודעתי להם. With them I didn't give him ability to orchestrate. It's your job. וגם הקימותי את בריתי איתם. I promised them ארץ כנען. שמעתי את נקת בני ישראל. Therefore give בני ישראל the message. לקחתי אתכם והבאתי אתכם לי לעם והייתי לכם לאלוקים. וידעתם כי אני השם. השם giving the general concept to Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu at this point is acting as a leader. All of the responsibility at this point it's on Moshe Rabbeinu. The obvious question people ask, how come Moshe Rabbeinu said, ככבד בפה וכבד לשון הלוכי. Till today you weren't כבד פה וכבד לשון? לא. Up to this point Moshe Rabbeinu was just giving over a technical message. Yes, the way he talks doesn't make a difference. Moshe Rabbeinu now is acting as a leader. Moshe Rabbeinu giving over the message to Bnei Israel as a true leader. And what happened? Bnei Israel don't listen because of what? Their problem. Because Kotzer Ruach, Avodah Kasha. Whose problem is this Torah defines? Bnei Israel problem. Is that Moshe's problem? No. At this point, what should Moshe understand?
It's not him, it's them.
It's them.
We didn't realize.
What is the definition of a leader? If you try to orchestrate something and it doesn't work, who do you blame? Yourself.
That's a big.
Moshe Rabbeinu blaming himself for Bnei Israel not listening. It's not there. If they have Kotzer Avodah Kasha, we're supposed to be responsible to give them the message properly. Nachon? Moshe says, no. You know whose fault is? My fault. I don't know how to give the message. Hashem telling, okay, now we got to talk to Paro. מה משה אומר? אין בני ישראל לא שמעו אליי. ואיך ישמעני פרעה? What's the problem? ואני! It's my problem. It's not their problem. I didn't know how to give the message properly. Therefore, וידבר השם אל משה ואל אהרון. The next pasuk, ויצווהם אל בני ישראל ואל פרעה מלך. Hashem added Aaron to the team. And he giving him instruction. Talk nicely to Paro. Why now? Because at this point, Hashem giving them now the ability to talk. It's by their hand. They need to orchestrate. They giving message the way they want to talk to Paro. We're going to see later, we're not going to see it today. You see later in the Parsha, all of the Makot, Moshe Rabbeinu was making decisions on his own. When do you want the devil? Lo hayom? Machar you want it to stop? Okay, Machar is going to stop. He is the one in full control, orchestrating everything. Therefore, Paro was thinking, as we see later in the Makot, that Moshe Rabbeinu Be'emet made up everything. Because he saw that he's in full control. And not for today, you see the difference of approach from Paro to them later on. Because Moshe Rabbeinu thought it's really Hashem. When he see that the really other players are Moshe and Aaron, they are one who controlling it, and Hashem gave them full control to play the game. At this point, Moshe said, it's you, it's not me versus God. If you can play it however you want, maybe it's not from you, maybe it's not. Therefore, the Etzba Elokim Yidachar because Moshe, when Paro seeing them acting like that, he understood that they are acting on behalf of the nation. The only way to get the Geulah for Bnei Israel out of Paro, it must be that the nation are living Paro. Lama. Later on it says, ושאלה איתה ושכנתה מגרת ביתה כלי כסף וכלי זהב ושמלות. נכון? It's a punishment to the Egyptian. If this is Hashem, Hashem doing everything, so okay, God did it, too bad. What's the feeling that there is a guy who was playing all this game and he got you guys to give them all of your klei kesef, klei zahav u'smalot? The ladies gave all of their money to the ladies of Bnei Israel. What were they feeling? Horrible. When do you feel horrible? When you know God did it? Or you're being played around. Somebody playing a game and he got you to give everything. This is the worst feeling. When you see later on in the Parshiyot, that the issue of Paro was playing only because he understood that Moshe and Aaron playing the game. They're running the game over here. Therefore, the reason they were able to go afterwards, if we reach that next 2 weeks, to chase after Bnei Israel, is because they understood this is not God. This is a planning of Moshe and Aaron. It's crucial for who? For Bnei Israel. Where Bnei Israel, after the Holocaust, everybody felt was talking about taking revenge on the Nazis in Yimach Shemam. My friend Rabbi Nachem Kogel, when I came to Florida, he used to speak Hebrew. Zichrono livracha. He was a Holocaust survivor, and he because of him, I'm learning now. He's the one who pushed me. He made me sit 4.5 hours every day, morning Seder, to learn. And when he had his first great grandchild, he came to me. I said it afterwards, but one of the sides of him, his daughters didn't even know, like many of the story that he told me, they never heard. Interesting, the children don't get it. So I said it and they were shocked. He said, Nitzachti et Hitler. I won Hitler. I had my great-grandchild. There is a feeling that you want to win over your enemy. It's a Jewish feeling, you got to be winners. The way we win, not by killing. We didn't kill the Germans when we were escaped.
Russians.
Yeah.
Russians.
We moved on. We kill others by being successful. The feeling of success got to come within the Jew himself. In order for Bnei Israel to get out of Egypt, they were slaves, nachon? You need to restore the slavery feeling. How do you restore those feelings? If your leader who leads you cooperate and orchestrate it for you to be winners, to live, you feel much better about yourself. Therefore, it was so crucial for Moshe and Aaron, the way Hashem started with Moshe. You got to be a leader of Bnei Israel. You got to play the game. Then Bnei Israel can get out of it. If I'm technically just getting them out, this is what happened with the African Americans, In one day they were out, but they still all their own mentality. By us, we have the urge of the leadership to get out and to be better. And most important is job as a leader, and us as parents, our siblings, to take the responsibility. לא שמעו אל משה מקוצר רוח או בעבודה קשה. That's a good excuse for us, but it's not an excuse. I was telling employees that why you didn't get the job done? I couldn't get it. What didn't happen? There are many things that things cannot happen. But if you want to get it, you can get it. If I give you $2,000 bonus, would you get it? Yes. So it's not about the difficulties of the job. It's about the approach. It's all about that. What? If you want to do it, you can do it. Shabbos.